بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome all of you wherever you are. I welcome you again with your program Fatwa Live. We start with a dua that we raise it to Allah the Almighty, that Allah will save all the weak from the believers. Oh Allah, protect the souls of our Gaza and all over Palestine, and make them safe. Put safe and tranquility in their lives. Oh Allah, we are free from our power, our will, and we take it to you. There is no God but you. Nothing overpowers you in the heavens or earth, and you are capable of everything. Oh Allah, with your power and your help and your love on your sacred areas and those who seek refuge from you, we seek you, Allah, the one who is close, who answered the prayers, the mighty, with all your names and your might, where nothing could overpower him and nothing could be over him or from the kings, and make the occupiers destroy them and make their plot against them. Oh Allah. Oh Allah, that his soldiers will not be beaten and he does not break his promise. Help our brothers in Palestine and support them and make them victorious with your mercy, with your power, with your might. Oh Allah, we leave them under your protection in Gaza and Palestine all over. Oh Allah, protect them with your eye that does not sleep. Support them. Put peace and tranquility on them. Bring your calmness. Make the earth suitable for them. And make everything in heaven for them. Oh Allah. Oh Allah, we have nothing we have except the dua at this moment. So do not take our dua back. Ameen. The first question today from a woman, she kept going back and forth with me. Is it allowed for the father or mother to take salary from the son because they brought him to this life and raising him and feed him and education, all that stuff, knowing that they are not of a need to money, and the kids, they are students and they have duties, loans, and the father's gonna take this money to get married again and again and again. We tell her the answer. Oh sister, the relationship between the father and the kids on piety and goodness, not on hatred, and the kids need to be good to their parents and respect them, and the fathers need to be merciful on their kids. The Prophet ﷺ, none of us who do not have mercy on our youth and respect the elders. The father, when he needs the support, and he is allowed in goodness, if he needs to spend, if he is in need, put this under parentheses, he is allowed to take the money without his knowledge or his permission. If the son needs that spend and he is not independent and don't have enough money, he's still under the support of his father. And the father is required to spend on his son until he is enough to support. If the people thought that they would not expend, then the wife can take from his money what is enough for her and kids in goodness. even without his knowledge, because of the hadith of our mother Aisha, that Hind bint Utbah bin Rabi'a, she said, "O Messenger of Allah, Abu Sufyan rajul is miser. He does not give me what's enough for me and my son, except whatever I took from his money, and he don't know." He said, "Take what is enough for you and your son in goodness." So if the father don't need the spender, and Allah gave him from His bounty, he should take from his son whatever his son wants to give him. And don't force him to requirements that makes him disobedient. May Allah have mercy on a father who helped his son to be good to him. Allah said about His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you believe and be biased, He will give you your reward, and He don't ask you your money. If He asks you, and then you be miserable, and then He will take what's in your soul. I didn't hear before that a father is requiring his son to give him money for because he had him or he raised him and he don't need it. But what I'm afraid in the question, some of the exceeding the could be from a jealous wife that she's afraid that her husband will marry on her. So she wants to make the mufti to say he cannot. So I want to hear from the father. So I will have the whole pictures and have the whole picture to make the fatwa. The second question, can you pay the zakah for college expenses for a poor family? And they work. They take like little money. And this boy is in the last year in college. The answer, there's nothing wrong of giving him money from the zakat to finish his education. So he will be supported with that his degree. That will be from getting the tools for the poor and needy to because the scholar they said how much you spend on the poor. Somebody said for a whole year. Because the next year you get the new zakah. The other said no. They given how long he's gonna live. He said you give him for his life. But they said what is meant with that to bring the tools for something that if he is a merchant, you give him the money to start. The one who is a farmer, then you buy him some land so he could cultivate it, and he will live comes out of it. So you bring to the poor the things that he needs, so he does not need the people except one time. Umar used to say, the face of the poor should not get red except once, when he asked the first time. Because next year he should be supporter, not a provider, not someone who takes. And Ibn Umar said, if I live for the orphans or the widows of the Iraq, I will not let them need another leader after me. So it looked okay to put the money on the college expenditure for that person because that's part of the tools for the income for that person. Another question someone is asking. I used to live in a house and I was in a good condition and have good sustenance. I moved to another house, and since then my sustenance is very mild. After I was very good condition, and now I'm borrowing more money to cover my family needs. Well, I don't know. My move into this house has any relationship? Why am I not getting assistance? I've been suffering for the last 3 years, and I'm thinking to sell this house and to move to another one. The answer, originally that our heart should be firm, that benefit and harm all in the hand of Allah. Whatever Allah opened from mercy, no one can hold it. And whomever He holds, no one can send it after Him. And He is the mighty and wise. But if you had that feeling from your pessimistic in a house, it's okay to leave it. It's for another house. In the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar, that is authenticated, I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, the pessimistic in three: in the horse, the woman, and the house. In another one, if there is there in three things: the wife, the horse, and the house. So if you have a house you don't like to live in it, and a woman that you don't like her companionship, or a horse that you don't like it, then he needs to leave it. This is the three that people are pessimistic about. When the So if you have this in these three, then you could leave. There is no proof for the pessimistic part, but you leave it to save his heart from thinking the wrong assumption about Allah. Knowing that Allah, be confirmed that Allah is the one who does what He wants, and there is nothing, no effect in any of these thoughts. Al-Qatabi say these three is the most that people are pessimistic about if they stay with it. So whomever he had something of this, Allah Azza wa Jal allowed him to leave it and to replace it from the thing that he likes, and he will be settling it. And he did not force him to stay in a place where he hates or with a woman he hates, but he allowed him to leave all that, knowing, believing that Allah is the one who does do what He wants, and none of these things has any existence. Another question: buying a car by installment through the Bank of Abu Dhabi, the Islamic Abu Dhabi Bank. First of all, I have no idea about the Islamic banks in the East. But if it's still on the same path, it is allowed to deal with Islamic financial institutions from different Islamic alternative. Unless you knew from the scholars that objection about certain products, that by itself is the one that you need to stay away. Anything else should be unpermissible. And when we say about Islamic financial institution, that their main criteria is to follow the Islamic Sharia laws in everything, and require the management with an observation area to make sure that they do. And it's better to finish this question with scholars in the East, because they are closer to these places and they know the changes in it. Allah Alam. The next question: sometimes I go to the bathroom and the urine comes out. Sometimes I pray and I see some wind that comes out. I just have some an operation, and it gave me difficulties. Well, I mean, do I have to do the wudu? Well, if this is something continuous all the time, then you protect yourself by making wudu for each prayers, and don't worry about what happens comes out. During the dhuhr you make the wudu and you pray. If something comes, no problem, because that thing that's consistently happen, not going to. You could make the tawaf in Kaaba, you could read the Quran, all this stuff, until the next prayer comes in. Then he renew his wudu. But if it stops he knows that if he enter the he wants 1 hour, he is good. Then he delay his prayer to that time to have the cleanliness if he can. Someone is asking. I was in the university and uh, I saw like those electronic tasbih. What do I do? I said, if it is the masjid, leave it in the or put that thing in the fountain. So whomever missed it, he will find it. If he's among the people in the masjid, the anything you find, you have to define it for 1 year for the public area, and then you take it and guarantee it for his owner whenever he comes at any time. You will hold it for 1 year, unless it's going to spoil because it's food or something of that sort. Then you spend it or sell it, and the money stays with the person until he comes. After the year he uses it, but he will keep it for whomever comes in at any time. But listen, the most of the time these minor things, they don't have a value. Even those who lost it, they don't even look for it. So don't the rule of the luqta. So if you find something that is considered one of the minor things that people don't even look into, they don't even then it is okay to keep it directly. You saw some pants and something that minor, that's a dollar two, three. But the one with the value and importance, and the one who lose it, follow it. That's the one with the rules. The second question is donation for the masjid can be counted from the zakah money to be guarded on the extra money on the bringing the masjid and the obligatory unless there is a need. In Amja, they have a decision about building the masjid from the zakat money. We'll put it in its origin so you could understand the answer. The majority of the scholars that, in the sake of Allah, what is it is in the those who fight in the sake of Allah, who don't take a salary or it's not enough for their struggle. The Hanabila, they asked, just like the person who make the Hajj of the obligatory one, it is better to stay on the masjid only on the extra, not obligatory ones. But the understanding of jihad is not just by the sword, it's also with the word. Then you can spend it for the action of da'wah and the things that support it, to enter it in the sake of Allah, which is in the ayat, where it is the Amja and the Global Islamic Conference also, they did the same. So the loans that's on the masjid, you can pay it from zakah. But the payments that the masjid took to buy the place or to build it or to spend on its programs, so you don't pay it from the zakah, except what is allowed from its portion. The decoration of the masjid is hated, so don't spend the money on it, except with the minor things that does not bother the people who pray. Someone with a student from our youth says, I am a student in high school. I have a friend who wants to enter Islam and he is convinced with it. I asked about his family. They said his mother and father are Christians. Oh, Because to attribute somebody to a Messiah, he never said that you take me and my mother as Lord. And those who say that is that Messiah is Allah or the Son of Allah, he's not had nothing to do with it, because you only call that name except on the thing that used it in truthfulness. And the the Christian, he should be a Muslim because Allah Azza wa Jal said that in the Bible they said, Isa said that I am giving glad tidings of a prophet comes after me, his name is Ahmad. And they were required to take the guidance that he is in. So he says that his father is not. So how is going to tell his people that he is a Muslim, and if they refuse, what does he do? From the young companions who did very good in their early age, and you're the same way. Another two questions. Islam is by the saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, written or doing it, and those who cannot read or write, there's the indication, knowing the meaning of it. But to meaning, it is an acceptance that will go back to faith and to stay away from any other religion. And you don't have to admit it in the Arabic if you don't know it, even though that is better to make the shahada in his language, and then it will be in his language. You don't have to declare Islam for those who fear a problem if they're sending you to Islam. The believer of Al-Quran, he used to keep it secret. The companions, they stayed in Al-Medina, so this man, he knows when to do it. So you don't have to declare Islam or to have a document from an Islamic place. This is only from the thing that require in any Islamic place to apply the rules of Islam for marriage, divorce, inheritance, all of this. So if you friend enter Islam, we will continue inshallah with him in details. The second question. My husband said the divorce name, but he swear he did not mean with it. And then he said maybe, just to make her life miserable. So I get angry. I said this insensitive issue does not require blame. So he started swear by Allah he did not mean it. And after he said that, his intention, he want to joke with you. Because he said maybe that make the that make the divorce happen. I tell her, my dear sister, you have the problem with the whisper of the shaitan. If you go back into him and again, you need to have a doctor who could give you a medicine for what you're doing. Don't be a problem to your husband. He swear to Allah, he did not mean the divorce. It is enough at this time, at that, and no need to continue after that. What he told you after that has nothing to do with the divorce. he swear by Allah and he swear that is not his intention. خلاص انتهت. It's over with. And whoever said that he's lying, he said, I divorced you. He did not divorce. Just to make her life bad. He got the. Uh, he'll be accused of lying in the divorce. What about the prayers for those who is a pilot? He's always traveling. He's always combine the prayers, and he cannot pray in the plane. He said, since you are traveling, so you can use all the rules for traveling, combining or shorten. And it's over once he goes to his permanent place. No one can say that he can't pray in the, just like he could, and he have to go to the bathroom for 1 minute, then he can pray for 2 minutes. And his assistant can do the job while he's praying. And every pilot, he has a helper, so he could use him those few minutes so he could pray. And if the prayers did not stop on the people who are fighting, what Allah said, if you with them started the prayers, it is a plan, military plan, to establish the prayers during the fight. Let a group of you start with you, let them take their weapons, so the others will be behind you. And those who do not pray, then they could pray. Let them take their eye and their weapons with them. The disbeliever, they wish you could be unaware of your clothes, your weapons, so they could go on you and kill you all at once. If you have a problem with the rain, to put your weapons away while you're praying. So if the prayer did not go down in the prayer, and so someone is saying, one of my relatives want me to find for a land. I take some money as a commission without the seller know, because the seller, he's my relative and I don't want to take money from him. To the commission, you have to tell the person you're taking the money from, because it's contract between two. It has to be an agreement between two parties. So it has to be known between them. So I'm saying that because sometimes some of those who are staying in the east, he'll call a friend of him in this place, and he'll say, buy me a watch or mobile or something. He'll tell him, okay, he'll buy it. He will add some money for the profit. He does not tell him. And the one in the east, he knows he's not a merchant. They have friendship, and he's doing it as a service. So he took the profit and put it for himself. That's not allowed. The commission has to be known. Allah will bless them if they are truthful, and He will not if they lie. So we go to this question, we'll go to the one after. Some we put family pictures, give me good memories. We know that the angels don't enter a house that has a dog or So I hope the matter is very flexible for the pictures, electronic ones. Does not have the same rule of the paper one. As long as it doesn't have something wrong, something forbidden. Just like the electronic part of the Mus'haf is not like the paper one from touching and others. You enter the bathroom and you have the phone and it has different files of Quran. If you close it's not a Mus'haf, but the should not be open on the Quran and it has the bathroom. If you close it, it's finished. So somebody mentioned that fatwa. He said the Quran inside the phone. How do I enter? He said, my son, do you murad the Quran? He said, yes. Do you cut your head when you enter the bathroom? He said, you enter the bathroom and the Quran in your head. So what's in your memorization? It has no connect whatsoever. Someone is saying, at Fajr, I have doubt that I made salam without the tahiyyat. I made dua and make salam. Is that good, or why do I have to redo the whole prayer? First of all, the doubt after you finish from the prayer has no effect. Especially if it is long. The doubt in the worship after you finish, it's not going to affect its goodness. But if it is during the prayer, you build on what is certain. So you bring the tashahhud and Allah bless you. Ameen. So someone is asking, so he sold electronic part to make it easy. And that company, it supports the Zionist area. So this is working with a company forbidden. They put in their website they support the Zionist. So I tell him from pure halal haram that you can get the help with them. So it's not a support with military or logistic. So anything beyond that, it is allowed. But don't stop the boycott when its reasons are allowed. That we have a decision about the boycott or the economic boycott. I'll tell you the decision. The boycott, it will be a tool to stop the aggression to declare a view or show an emotion. It is part of the resistance that is known in our time. So originally that you can, no matter what you are dealing with outside. So the boycott is to prevent any aggression, to increase what is good. It comes one of the lawful part for the support. Because the means take the same decision and the scholars, they need to come with a decision, so it will be energetic and supportive. What so we come to the conclusion of today, inshallah. سبحانك وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.